LeBron says playing 82 games today is harder, but KG and Pierce completely disagree. They reveal why modern players aren't built or trained to handle the grind like the old-school legends.
Playing 82 games in the 80s and 90s is not the same as playing 82 games in the 2020s. It's just not. The way we play, the level of pace, the level of the speed that we're playing at, it's a different game now. Hopefully we can get a handle on that from a medical standpoint, but it's just a game. I just want the fans to understand.
LeBron James said that playing all 82 games today is harder than in the 80s and 90s because the game is faster. Garnett and Paul Pierce strongly disagreed. They say players now aren't as tough, don't train the same way, and don't work as hard as their generation. The debate is heating up, and the evidence is pretty strong. Who's right? LeBron saying the game is harder now, or KG and Pierce saying today's players just aren't putting in the work?
In 2000, we had to fight through picks.
Yeah.
We had to really fight
it's more physical.
On defense.
It was more physical.
So, that's harder to do. If tonight, I got to get through this Patrick Ewing, Anthony Mason pick and roll all night.
It's not harder on your Achilles,
so many times,
mentally
so many times I'm bruised up after the game. My shoulder hurts.
It's definitely more physical.
It's hurting.
So why were more guys playing 75 games a year then?
Because we was tougher.
LeBron James started a big debate in the basketball world. He said playing 82 games today is much harder than it was in the 80s and 90s because of the game's faster pace and tempo. He explained, teams run constantly, the spacing is different, and all this causes more calf injuries now. He compared it to the past, when high ankle sprains were more common because the paint was crowded and players would land on each other's feet. Today, the game is more spread out, but the constant running leads to different injuries.
Well, now you're switching everything. You make up for the running you had to do on defense. For our era, you take that out of their defensive switching everything now. Because you had to stay home on everybody. So you did more running on defense than they do now. And now we're watching. Now I'm sitting up here on defense watching the ISO.
Mentally and physically, I think it was harder than to actually do it. But
Paul's saying these guys aren't tough enough to play 75 games.
When we ran through the middle of the paint, you was getting hit.
Garnett and Paul Pierce heard LeBron's explanation and completely disagreed. They say today's players aren't training hard enough and aren't preparing their bodies like their generation did. KG pointed out that practices have changed. Players now do short individual workouts instead of long, intense 5-on-5 sessions. Pierce agreed, saying they used to work out for hours, run up sand dunes until they were sick, and push their bodies to survive 82 games plus the playoffs. There's more to this debate than just old players complaining. KG and Pierce have a point, and LeBron's argument has some holes that need looking at.
The way we play, the level of pace, the level of the speed that we're playing at, it's a different game now. It's a totally different game. And, it's a lot of soft tissue injuries that's happened now because of it. I hope we can get a handle on that as well, because that's big in our game. I think when I first came into to the league, Reese, some of the biggest concerns of injuries was a high ankle sprain. You was afraid to step on somebody's ankle because there was 4 or 5 guys sitting in the paint.
LeBron is right that the game is faster in some eras. The 80s had fast basketball with teams running a lot. The 90s slowed down with more one-on-one physical play. Today, the game is fast again because of three-pointers, spacing, and quick transition shots. That part is true. But here's the problem with his argument. If pace was the main issue, why didn't the 80s see the same calf and soft tissue injuries we see now? Those teams ran just as much and players still played all 82 games regularly.
So, guys with athleticism, myself, Tracy McGrady, Vince Carter, to name a couple guys, sometimes you're afraid to take off into the lane because it was 4 or 5 guys sitting in the paint. And if you land on somebody's ankle, you get a high ankle sprain, you out 4 to 6 weeks. Now that's not really much of you don't really see that as much now because the game is so spread open, it's so much pace. But now you see the new high ankle sprain is the calf.
Right.
Hopefully we could get a handle on that from a medical standpoint. But it's just a game. I just want the fans to understand that the game is a little different. And, as NBA players, we're definitely We definitely want to be out there.
LeBron has only played a full 82-game season once in his whole career. Just once. Michael Jordan did it 9 times, including seasons where he played deep into June, had short off seasons, and went right back at it. If pace was really the problem, Jordan's body should have broken down too, but it didn't because he was built to handle it.
Why are we getting tendon bruises?
Because
we're not conditioned. Because we're not practicing every day.
Maybe so. I agree with that.
Practice every day. So
I agree with that.
Like you heard the term when you was growing up, practice how you play. Well, you're playing and not practicing.
And they're going not even at game speed.
You're hamstring. Why is there more hamstrings? Because you're not practicing how you play.
I think it's overused.
I'm more conditioned to play every night. My body is not stiff because I practiced yesterday.
This is where KG's argument really hits hard. He explains that back in the day, practices were done at full game speed with constant 5-on-5 scrimmages. Players conditioned their bodies by replicating real game situations. Now, KG says players do short 30-minute individual workouts at half speed, then try to play a full 2-hour game at maximum intensity and wonder why they get injured. That's not preparation. Paul Pierce added that they used to play 5-on-5 for 7 hours in the summer to keep their bodies ready. Today, 30 minutes with a trainer is seen as enough. That's not even close. If you don't stress and condition your body properly, injuries are inevitable once the season starts.
How do we get more toughness back into the game, Paul?
More practice.
You gotta change the rules. You gotta allow defense to be defense.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? You got that freedom of movement, all that. No, you got to allow holding, grabbing, some of that, all of that. You can't just let the offense. Everybody can score 50 now.
It's still, but it's still a physical game. Everyone, it's still playing physical.
Yeah. Why are the guards out rebounding the bigs?
Yeah.
Like, come on, like, yeah.
I got it.
But I love watching. You know, I'm not a knob, but I'm just saying why it is how it is.
KG made another important point about calf raises. He said trainers have noticed that players aren't doing them at the end of workouts anymore, which is causing more calf injuries. Your calves are key for stopping, starting, and jumping, basically everything in basketball. If you don't strengthen them, they're going to break down under the stress of an 82-game season.
Summer, they individual work every day. For 30 minutes with one trainer.
Yeah.
And think that's going to be the same shit. Like, what are we talking about here? Bro, motherfucker do a whole workout an hour by himself. I come in here, it's 5 niggas in one workout doing 30 minutes. Bro, This is not the same shit, bro.
KG and Pierce did calf raises religiously because they knew it helped prevent injuries. Modern players often don't, and now they're paying the price. KG also stressed the importance of simulating real game fatigue. You can't prepare for guarding a star like Tracy McGrady in the fourth quarter with just 30 minutes of individual drills. You need long, intense practice sessions so your body knows how to perform when exhausted. He even recalled being completely drained in a Game 7, still having to stop plays while teammates were falling out from exhaustion. That level of preparation can't come from short workouts. The strongest argument against LeBron's pace theory comes from Michael Jordan's career. Jordan won 6 championships in 8 years, with countless high-intensity playoff games and 2 Olympics. If pace alone made players break down, Jordan would have. But his trainer, Tim Grover, built his body to handle the workload. Jordan stayed healthy through long playoff runs, deep seasons, and back-to-back championships. Not luck, but preparation and conditioning. LeBron, by contrast, has only played a full 82-game season once. He manages his workload with rest, yet he still had injuries, like the broken foot in his second year. This shows that preparation and conditioning, not just pace, are key to surviving an NBA season. If today's game is really harder because of pace, why is the player who manages his workload the most, LeBron, still getting injured, while players from past eras who played every game stayed healthier? The soft tissue injury argument also doesn't fully add up. LeBron says more calf injuries happen now because of pace and spacing, but KG and Pierce argue it's because players aren't properly conditioning their bodies. Who seems more credible? The guy who's played a full 82-game season only once, or the players who did it regularly while going through brutal training specifically to prevent injuries? KG's description of that old-school training is eye-opening. Running up sand dunes until you throw up, playing 5-on-5 for hours at game speed, and doing calf raises to strengthen the exact muscles that now break down in modern players. That's intentional, targeted preparation to build bodies that can survive an 82-game season. Hit that like button, subscribe, and drop your take in the comments. Who's right in this debate?